Hi, welcome to another lawn fun video. I'm Kara and today it's all sunshine and lemons and we're using fancy scalloped rectangle stackables in lemon fizz and in white, zesty lemons, and I cut up just a bunch of different pieces from that, Sunray background stencil, Henry's ABCs, and Milo's ABCs. And we'll start with those Milo's ABCs. I put them already on my MISTI to say loving you is easy peasy. I stamped it out on scratch paper to make sure that all my letters were where I wanted them. And now I'm going to place that white fancy scalloped rectangle right where it should go so those letters are kind of at the top. Now I'll ink up my letters with some jet black ink and stamp that out. Now I am going to ink blend over this. So I'm using some clear ink now and stamping that out again. And then I'm going to put some clear embossing powder on top and heat that up so that my black letters will have a bit of a shine to them and will be covered while I ink blend. Now, I might not have had to do that. I might have ink blended just fine, but I like the look of that shiny black. So now to put on the other part, which is squeezy. So it'll be loving you is easy peasy, lemon squeezy. What I do, it's like when I was in typing class in junior high where you find the center and then okay, you probably didn't have to do this because you just hit center on your computer now to center anything. But what we used to do in typing class was count out how many letters to the center and then go back a certain amount, halfway. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. I found the center letter and I'm putting in my letters on the right and the left of that. And now I'm stamping that out on my scratch paper just to make sure that I have everything where I want it. I think the Z is a little high. And are you looking at how I spelled squeezy? Because that's going to bother you for a little while until I fix that. But I will fix it, so it's okay. But decided that Z was then a little down. Now it's a little up. Realized I'm spelling squeezy wrong. And I replaced the E for the A. And here it is. Okay, it's right now. So I can figure out where I want it on my panel. So I'm just eyeballing it. I don't know. Do you use the grids a lot or do you eyeball things? I'm a little of both. I guess I do both. But ink that up and press it down, and now we have squeezy. And I'm going to ink it up with that clear ink again so that I can put the clear embossing powder over that, and I'll heat that with my heat gun to melt it, and it is ready for ink blending. So I'm using the Sunray background stencil, and I'm going to put some tape balls onto the back of my panel to keep that down. And then I'm going to use that same painter's tape just to tack down my sun rays so that they don't move. And I'm using some mustard seed distress ink for those rays. Now there is squeezed lemonade, and I thought, well, I could do that. I could make it a lighter yellow, but I wanted a really bright card, and so we're going with the mustard seed. And I'm kind of heavy-handed with this, getting it nice and bright. And then once I'm happy with that, check it. First, I like to just pick it up to see, and I'm happy with how that came out. And so now I'm just going to ink blend the panel with more mustard seed so that it kind of goes from darker to lighter on the top. Now that's a step I don't always do, but coming back with just ink blending over it kind of makes it all blend well together. All right, well, I decided my lemon fizz color wasn't matching up with my mustard seed color, so easy fix to that is just bring in that mustard seed and ink blend it right over my lemon fizz color. And then once I have those together, they work very well. So Nice, easy peasy, lemon squeezy fix for that. The word lemon is highlighted in this phrase with using the Henry's ABCs. So they're a little bit bigger and they are the other side of that lemon fizz paper. I am coloring around the edges just to give them more definition, and I'm using a Y15 Copic marker for that. Decide where they need to be. Again, put those center letters in first and then bring the other ones around. And now they're all centered. I'm going to add this to a 4¼ by 5½ inch white note card. And I decided I like that white framing the fancy scalloped rectangle. Now, meanwhile, I am putting some washi tape on the back of my lemon die cuts because I want to keep all those little bits in there. There's two ways you could do this. You can keep them in there, or you can cut out the backer to the lemon and use them over. It would be like two pieces together. But I've decided to just keep them together and color over that all. So the easy way to keep them with the little bits inside is to put a little washi tape on the back. All right, I'm using a Y15 and Y13 to color my lemons, and then the lightest I'm going to use is a Y11, but I want a real glow, or like the light is hitting the lemons to almost look white. So I am taking a colorless blender and just blending out from the white paper to the Y11. And I'll go back and forth with my other colors, the Y13 and 15, until I have the blend that I'm looking for. Now the lemon slice is very similar, that there's a back part and then the front part, but I again am just using the front part, and I'm going to make the peel look like it's just on the edge of that. So coloring that with my Y15. This makes my lemon slice just a little smaller, and for me that works out better with my design because the some of the lemon slices are going to be tucked behind the main phrase panel, and so I want to make sure that you can see as much of the lemon slice as possible. I was washing dishes when I was thinking about what will I do for my next video, and honestly, I'm just staring at my hand soap, which is sitting on the side of the sink, and there it is. There's my next video. There's my next card. It was some Bath and Body Works kitchen lemon hand soap, and it was like, yeah, look at that design. I like that. So they had their words in the middle on a white rectangle, and they were black, and then they had lemons kind of tucked in behind it. I will show you at the end because I think I put one of my hand soaps next to it so that you could see. But anyway, we get inspiration from all kinds of things, don't we? Well, this one just worked out perfectly for me, and of course, I changed it up a bit to make it my own. Well, here we are onto the leaves, and I wanted some dark leaves. So this is a G29, and I'll go around the edges with that so that there isn't any white showing. And there's not much darker in the Copic world in the G's further than that G29. So I brought in the BG78, and that is my darker shade there, and then I'll blend that out with that G29. So I have some nice dark green leaves for my lemons. I'll color up my lemon tree blossoms with the same colors. So I'm using the Y11 and the Y15 for the center. But for the petals, the white petals, I'm going to use a C1 to give those just a little bit of shading. And now that everything is colored, it is time to assemble this card. I'm going to speed this up double time so that you can see how I've decided to arrange everything, but we don't have to wait around for it to get done. Really trying to balance things out. So I want to have a couple of the lemons in the very front bottom coming where the light rays are kind of coming up from them, but also balancing out all of the slices and full lemons in the background. I want to add my flowers, but first I need to put those together. So a little bit of glue and then adding the pieces to layer those together. Lemons have become my favorite fruit lately. That's a strange fruit to have as your favorite, but every morning I squeeze a half a lemon into my water, and that is how I wake up in the morning with some lemon water. It is replacing my coffee. I'm trying to decrease my caffeine, and this just seemed like a nice way of waking up in the morning. Well, all right, I decided to highlight those lemon letters a little bit more, so I added black licorice cardstock letters behind them. I wanted to see if maybe I should add some black licorice as a panel behind that center panel, but decided no, it was a little too bold, and so I am adding a white panel behind it, and that'll kind of reflect the white panel on the outside as well. Time to adhere everything down. I'm using a tape runner to add some adhesive to the back of my largest panel and set that on my note card. I already added some adhesive to my center panel, but only on the very inside because I want to make sure I can tuck in all the lemons and leaves. All right, I am gluing those letters together. So I have the black licorice cardstock letters on the left and the lower part of them. And I'm trying to make sure that I remember to do that on all of them, that they're on the left and lower. That's always a trick for me is to not change that up, but I've got them right. And now that they're all adhered, I can add those to my card. And I'm gluing these letters on. I'm using my new Lawn Fawn Jumbo glue tube, which I really like. I like that glue tube a lot. I'm also going to glue on my centerpiece lemons, the large lemon and the lemon slice. Those sun rays coming out of them, it just looks like, oh, lemons. So, all right, well, I'm going to glue on all of the lemons, and first I want to take some time to arrange everything where I want it. At first, I wanted all of those blossoms at the bottom, but as I moved things around and tucked in my lemons, I decided to scatter them throughout the card. I thought that was more balanced. It's funny how much time I can take just rearranging things on a card. I think that's the fun artistic pleasure of putting a card design together. Well, all right, I finally figured out where those flowers are going to sit, and so I can glue them all down. And here's that hand soap I was talking about. See how, yeah, I think that worked out really well. All right, for the final touch, I'm going to add in some of the sparkle glaze into the centers of my flowers and also on the letters, the lemon letters. Just kind of move it around with my finger so that it spreads out evenly. And I'm hoping as I lift this up, you can see some of that sparkle. Oh, as I see now though, one last detail, one more flower just to balance everything out, and a little sparkle glaze on the top. And this card is all done. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video today and it inspired you to find something maybe in your kitchen or anywhere in your house that inspires you to make a card design. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye!